Morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, folks? JT here with another Chart Talk Live brought to you by Xtrades. Hope everybody is doing well. It is Tuesday, September the 30th, the last day of the month before we head into the final quarter of the year. Let's get, oh, whoops, there we go, that there. Let me get over to the morning live stream. Get the screen sharing going. What's up, Navy Plum? Good morning to you. Eddie Mentium, Araman, New Trader. Good to see you all here this morning. Hope everybody is off to a fantastic start today. Sorry, getting a little extra water in there. Make sure the vocal cords are good, lubricated. All right, so let's dig in where we always like to start off. We're going to get into some stuff here on ES. What are we seeing in the markets in general? And then, of course, we're going to follow that up with some trade plan reviews and recaps. And then we will get to some new live stream plans here together this morning. So I hope you all are ready to rock and roll. If you have any questions or ticker requests, feel free to start dropping any of that stuff in the chats, either on YouTube or, of course, in our Discord channel. And I will be happy to try to get to as much of that as we possibly can in the 45 minutes or so-ish that we have here this morning. So let's dig in. What are we seeing here on ES? Ultimately, markets still trying to bounce after a bit of a head and shoulders pullback. Took us down below the 333 there briefly, but overall held and has since pushed up, reclaimed that 333 SMA there, and then just kind of made a slow melt up move all the way up into some buying pressure here. We're seeing a little bit of a pullback, but we're pulling back into this overall support buying pressure between these SMAs as they continue a bullish trend to the upside with the 333 below the 200. And the price action dipping into some of that area of buying pressure. So what I'd like to see for things to perhaps make another push back toward all-time highs is if we could reclaim sorry, I'm probably slightly behind on adding some levels here on ES. Still a lot of just fib extensions on this chart, but I'd say the cleaner level to me really looks like 67.15. If we can get over that, we should retest this local high where we've got just a double top. No real support and resistance established there, but that would certainly be an interesting target to watch potentially. I'm going to flag this as a potential level, not quite confirmed yet. And then over that, of course, we're up to all-time highs where we've seen another double top, a little bit more spread out there. But that's what we would be looking to test. If we can break over 67.15, I'd be looking to make a move up through those couple of levels. And obviously, I'm going to go back and revisit my trend-based fib extensions because these are looking like they're just not hitting quite the way that I normally see them catching levels with accuracy. So I think it's quite possible, in fact, even likely, that when I drew this most recent set, that we hadn't really confirmed a top and that we were still in an overall uptrend. So I'll take a look at that and get that figured out. But we've definitely confirmed that top there at 67.56. So I should be able to come up with a good set of fib extensions from there. But I don't think we need to worry about that too much until we're getting back closer to 67.56 anyway. There's some turbulence on the way up there. And like I said, key level to break, in my opinion, for us to start testing some new upside resistances, or I should say retesting some upside resistances. They aren't new. Is to get this break over 67.15, which should take us up to some of those new price targets that we just set there at 67.35 and 67.56.75. So that's our quick check on ES. Overall, I would say my take on it right now is pretty mixed. And I would also say a break below 66.80 would probably spell trouble and more downside for the markets. So that being said, see if Beyond is a good dip buy. Sure, we can take a look at that. I haven't even thought about Beyond since, I don't know, since I hit the market and took off like a rocket. I don't even know how long ago that was. And I think it was up in like the 200s, and I think the last time I saw it, it was like in the, I don't know, maybe like $5 a share or something like that. Pretty wild. But yeah, we'll take a look at Beyond. It might be a good dip buy. All right, so we had from last Tuesday's live stream plan, Oracle. This one broke below the call entry that we were looking at pre-market. First 5-minute candle was below the call entry there on this particular trading day after we did the live stream for it. It has since followed this downtrend and been on a pretty strong pullback, including getting what I would consider a bit of a sell the news momentum to the downside after the TikTok U.S. stakeholdership was announced. It has continued to push down, very much a sell the news event as we kind of expected on this one. But continues to try to catch support here at the 333 SMA. That looks like it's given up. We got a little bit of a bounce off of it yesterday, but as far as pre-market this morning, it looks like we're fading below that. Overall momentum has been to the downside with a perfect rejection there pre-market yesterday that took us down to that 333 test. So this one looks like it should complete the move to PT1 to me. So just, keep on hanging tight. I know it's been a little bit of a slow move over these last couple of days, but we did set a pretty decent range on this first target. So overall, Oracle still looking pretty bearish. Kind of has some potential bullish vibes breaking out of this downtrend because it was a pretty solid and confirmed downtrend, but there's still a lot of other stuff that I see on this chart that looks very bearish, at least for the time being. So Oracle looking for more downside, looking to finally complete the move to PT1, and then we'll see what it does from there. But so far, plans playing out nicely. Mara, we did last Tuesday as well. This one gave us a couple of sweeps, rejections right there at the call entry before ultimately breaking down below the put entry level and then making it all the way down to PT3 for a double bottom. And then yesterday, big rally back up into the range. So this is one that we could, look to potentially rerun this trade plan, especially if we do get a good confirmed break over 1891. I think that those buy zones are still good, or those upside moves are still pretty solid up to those price targets. So keep this one on watch. Mara was looking very strong yesterday. Let's see if it continues that strength today and breaks out to the upside and pushes over 1891 to give us some of these upside price targets. AMKR, this one's been pretty flat, very choppy. As far as actual trading session moves go, no confirmations in either direction. So this one's really just kind of hugging inside this range and moving sideways. So we'll keep an eye on it for it to finally give us a good confirmed break in one direction or the other. Usually, at which point we will be ready to act on that. From last Thursday's live stream, we did AMD. AMD looks like it's trying to break out to the upside after testing that put entry level there. Pre-market, right as we were doing this plan, came down and tested our put entry key support there at 154.93. It's had a nice bounce off of that all the way up to 163 and some change before seeing a little bit of a pullback. And now it seems to be hugging this call side plan stop loss average down level. So now we're just looking for it to get back over 163.37, and this one could start moving for some nice upside momentum. So keep an eye on AMD. It looks like it's trying to make a recovery after having a little bit of a rough go on this pullback from, near the last trade plan we did for it. Don't need that there. So anyway, long story short, this one's still in the mix. Keep it on watch, looking for that break over 163.37. And then we'll see things hopefully continue to the upside for our AMD trade plan. SoFi, we don't need the 24-hour chart. That's a little bit too big picture. SoFi, this one's kind of been chopping again right within our range, keeps getting rejections of the call entry. Looking for this one to try to get a break over that and continue higher, but does seem to be showing a lot of bearish signs. Short signal confirmed here this morning. Bearish momentum, bearish flag. It does have the SMAs as support, but if we lose the put entry here at 26.55, that 333 is out of the way. As far as near-term 1 hour support indicators. So we could see a deeper pullback in SoFi here before too long. But overall, SoFi has been a generally strong name this year. So I'd be careful going too aggressively short on it, but play the charts, right? That's what we're here to do. All right, LAC. This one is Lithium Americas Corp. This one got a lot of hype after the discussions or rumors of the U.S. taking some kind of stake in businesses like LAC. Apparently, none of that's come to at least certain fruition yet. So it overall stayed below our call entry before it finally did give us a breakdown to the put entry side of the plan there yesterday. Nice back test. And then ultimately playing out down to PT1 for puts and also grabbing some key buy support here. So this is an interesting one to watch. LAC could try to rally off this level, so keep a close eye on it. Could be a decent dip buy, but I personally would like to see it get over 583, and then we start to clear out some of this bearish momentum. Looks like smaller, more recently developed support and resistance level right there at about 583 as well. So keep an eye on that 583 level. If LAC can get over that, could go on another interesting run, especially if we get some kind of good catalyst for this as far as perhaps some federal dollars rolling into LAC. All right, last but not least, and then we'll get to some new trade plans. The trade desk, this was for one of our folks that was watching on YouTube last Thursday. We squeezed it in last minute. We did an upside only trade plan because I was feeling pretty confident about this one finally trying to make a recovery move, and sure enough, we saw that. We did get a confirmed break here in the mix last Friday. If you want me to zoom in, we can take a look at that. So we get our break above right there, holding with all those back tests, a little bit of a dip down into that momentum, nothing to worry about at all there. And then ever since then, this one has been cruising to the upside, hit all three price targets yesterday, seems to be showing a little bit of a double top pattern here pre-market this morning, but so far we've got that nailed for that top. So great move on the trade desk between Friday and yesterday. 2-day move with lots of upside points achieved. So congrats if you followed the trade desk plan that we put out last Thursday. It was there a day before it happened. You were ready to go Friday, and then just had to ride through the weekend, and yesterday really did all the work for you. So congrats if you followed the plan, if you caught this one. All right, let's get to some new ticker requests here this morning. I've got Beyond so far. We've got new trader typing something up. Hopefully new trader asked for the Beyond trade plan. So if anybody else has any other ticker requests or any questions that you want me to cover while we're doing this live stream, please feel free to get those into the chat so I can assist, so I know what you want me to take a look at as we put together some trade plans during this pre-market live stream. All right. Yeah, I think TTD does still have quite a bit of room to the upside to go. Absolutely. I think it could make a big comeback. There's a very large, let's just talk about this real quick since you asked. There's a smaller fair value gap to fill up to about 51.55, and then there's some local resistance up here. Gosh, I think this is the right level. Maybe I should just turn my levels on instead of trade plan only. No, I'm sorry, 52.72. But if it can get up to this 55.53 and get over it, I think that's when we start getting into this massive earnings report fair value gap that takes it way the hell up here to like the 80s potentially. So, yeah, absolutely. I think TTD has a lot of room to recover. I also think that the potential change in the SEC rules for um, day trading, gosh, what am I looking for here? Buying power or cash on hand to be able to have unlimited day trades being dropped from 25,000 to 2,000 could be a big catalyst for TTD. So yes, I think this one has a lot going for it, and it certainly could see a lot more upside from here. I agree, new trader. All right, so let's get to Beyond, and I think I saw, what about Tesla? Sure, Richard, we can take a look at Tesla for you. All right, let's get to Beyond. Oh my God, it's even lower than I thought it was. All right, man, this is all-time lows here on Beyond. I don't know if this is a dip buy. Looks like everybody's abandoned this one. Big volume yesterday on that sell-off too. I mean, 63, 65 million on a 30-day average of 4.2 million. That's a major liquidity exiting Beyond for sure. It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't an earnings report. They have some news. Is tackling major challenges by conserving cash, stabilizing sales. Yeah, nobody wants fake meat. All right, let's take a look at it. I mean, this has got to be, yeah, this is all-time lows down here. 123. Paid subscription? No, it's just right here on in TradingView, man. So the volume yesterday was 65.31 million. 30-day average on Beyond is typically floating around 4.2 million. So, I mean, that was a very, very volume heavy sell off yesterday, like big time. Apparently, people like buying it up near $1. I don't think there's a downside trade plan to be had for this one because it is so far down. I think really the only thing we can do on this is try to find some kind of a confirmed break for a catch back to the upside and see what that shows us. Might be a little tricky, but I like a challenge, so let's work on it. Let's figure this out because, yeah, who knows? Maybe Beyond goes nuts. Maybe they get a deal with, Taco Bell. They're not using real meat anyway. To start using Beyond products or something. So Taco Bell could be your all vegan restaurant. Nobody wants that, by the way. Okay, yeah, I think this is probably not a great one to do a trade plan for. I was going to do it since you had the request, and I want to, give everybody some love. But if you have a second request, new trader, let me know, and I'd be happy to move you toward the front of the line since we are skipping your first one. All right, so let's get to Tesla. And if new trader has one, I'll shift back to whatever he requests. All right, let's get our levels on the chart here. Let's get those cleaned up a little bit. Don't see a need for a lot of new levels. However, we probably should go ahead and figure out a set of fib extensions on Tesla for if and when it does break over 488.56. Just trying to spot where this trend that pushed it to all-time highs really started. It looks like it might have started right here, but I could be wrong. Let's see. No, that checks out. All right, so let's set our fib extensions here. Oh, wait a second. I don't think that grabbed the right spot on that candle. Sorry about that. Let me zoom in a little bit here. There you go. I can see that clearly now. All right, here we go. That's the candle I wanted. Close enough. We'll actually take this and edge it down just a little bit. That's good enough. All right, so that'll give us some extension targets if we do break all-time high. I don't know if we'll need them for this trade plan for sure, but it won't hurt to have them with Tesla not being too far off from all-time highs. And let's get that 1.618 at least. Okay, I think we've got all the levels we need. Now it's just about picking the key ones and making sure that we are ready to execute. Interesting sweep above this 447 level. Question is that really the key level? Let's see. Come on. 447. Yeah. Yep. I think this does open up a pretty decent upside move. Should take us to 470.18. So we are going to need those fib extensions after all. 488.56. All-time high retest. And then 504.52. New all-time high. Fib extension projected level. Stop loss average down. I like right here. Let's make sure that that jives with what we see currently as well. It does, in my opinion. Okay, cool. Well, that's that one figured out. Quick and easy. I like it. Let's see what we got for downside. I do want to flag this level for now. I'm not totally sure it's the level, but I don't want to lose track of it as I try to check some of this older price action. Yeah, you know what? I think we're good. Good with that level. We will set our stops. Sorry, just check this out real quick. Yeah, that jives back here too. Okay, set our stops here. Should be able to use this recent price action to get our targets. It's an interesting little break above and pop right there off that level. Sorry, check out one more thing. I just want to make sure we've got the right level set up for this downside plan. Yeah, we're good. I'm probably overthinking this slightly. Want to be careful going short on Tesla. It can definitely make some bearish moves, but it can also reverse those just out of nowhere very quickly. Yeah, I think there's going to be really strong support down here at 355, 64 if it even makes it that far. All right, we got our plans. Let's get this dialed in. Call entry at 447, whoops, 470.18, 48.56, and 504.52. Stop loss at 434.96. Put entry at 433.28. 81.56, 373. No, wrong level. My bad. 70. 367.75, right? Nope, 65. Sorry. And I'm down to 355.64. Put stop loss average down, 418.91. Boom. Looks great. All right. Let's get this cleaned up. There we go. That looks nice and ready. So here comes our Tesla live stream plans. Let's go. Richard, no, what's your question? What do you want me to explain? That's all good, Serge. Better late than never, my friend. Glad you're here with us. Let's get these alerts set. Give them a week. So let's see, that'll be Tuesday, but I actually want to start doing this so we don't have a day of overlap between a bunch of plans, so we'll do this actually Monday. Whoops, close of at market close. Next Monday, market close. That way it expires before we do new trade plans on Tuesday morning. I don't want the What's up, Ryan? Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you over on YouTube. Tell your friends. YouTube stream is free to join, and I try to give equal time to our YouTube friends as well as our Xtrades Discord community, of course. All right, so let's run through this one last time. Although let me check to make sure I didn't miss Richard's questions. I know Richard understands it now. Good. All right, cool. So let's get after this. And what are we looking for here on Tesla? We're looking for a confirmed break over 447. That should bring targets at 470.18, 488.56, and 504.52 with a stop loss average down at 434.96. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 403.28. That should bring downside targets at 381.56, 367.65, and 355.64 with a stop loss average down at 418.91. Those are your Tesla live stream plans. Let's go. All right, what did we have next? Open from the Muscle Doctor. I need a muscle doctor. All right. Oh, wait. You know, and the one thing I forgot to do, I almost forgot. Lock in our template so we can circle back to this one. Tuesday, live stream 1. Now we're there. Yes. Okay, cool. All right. Now we can move on to Open. Open's been a interesting name. It's made some nice moves. I know I've got levels on it. Don't I see any levels? Not hidden there. Oh, because they're all up there. That explains it. Okay. Well, let me clean this up real quick. Put all that extra stuff. Yeah, I really wish they would let you select more drawings to create these groups, but it's what it is. You go here. All right, cool. Let's do this. Sorry, this doesn't mess with us. All right, I need to do a little bit of studying here, but should be quick. All right, open. Okay, where are these levels sit? Definitely got something interesting there. Support and resistance wise. It's also an intriguing level, but I want to double check this against the recent PA. That's it. Oh, that's why. Not quite. Yeah, that looks a little better. And if it can get over 10, yeah, I'd be looking at this right around this 1134 level. Although we did see some recent rejections, so I'll take a look at that as well. Also need to start looking at some smaller time frames here in just a moment, but wanted to try to lock in a few more these higher time frame levels like this one sitting right there. All right, let's go ahead and start slicing into this. Quite a true double top. Lots of resistance and some sweeping above this 1068 level. The question is, what's up, Baby Yoda? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Come on, let's get there. We ain't got all day. Let's see if this is actually an important level or what's near it. Yep, there is something there right at about 1064. Waking up and breathing, that's right, man. Be grateful for the little things, right? Makes all your other problems seem so, I don't know, irrelevant. Probably the right word for that. All right. Cole's been gone, man. Now I'm just trying to fight through freaking, you know, neck, disc issues, chronic pain, all kinds of injections. That's why I said I need a muscle doc. Clear downtrend there on open. All right, let's get into the hourly. Let's start locking in this trade plan. I've maybe spent a little too much time on this. Let's try to get at least one more in after open. The trend is definitely there though. Yep, I've just started physical therapy. I've been in physical therapy so many times. Started PT yesterday, or back to PT yesterday. Had an epidural on Monday, right in the cervical spine, so that felt great. I mean, it did help. The act of getting it, not so pleasant, but I'd do it again in a heartbeat for the amount of relief it has provided, even though it's not been total and complete. I know that there may need to be some follow-up injections to really kind of get things back to square one for a bit. All right, so question is, do we have an earlier entry though with this trend line? But nope, dude, I had hiccups. I don't know if I told you all. I had the hiccups that whole entire day. Like, I don't think they went away till 6 p.m. or something like that. Like, they would go away for like 30 minutes, and I'd be like, okay, we're good. And then all of a sudden they'd start up again out of nowhere. Worst day ever. Hiccups almost as bad as neck pain. Almost. All right, so I think if we can get a break over this downtrend, I gotta remember though that a 50-cent move on open is actually decent. It's like 5%, more than 5%. It'd be 5% if it was at $10. And we're looking for a little bit more than that, so let's do this. I'm probably, I don't know, could be an early entry. I'm throwing a flag on myself on this one already, but I like it. I think if we break this down, trend open's going to start moving. So I don't want to wait too long after that downtrend breaks. But it'll be well and confirmed if we can get over 861. I think we've got a decent stop loss average down here. Down at 809, so we're breaking down a little bit by the looks of it, but nothing too alarming. Next target, yeah, I definitely have it right about here at 982, very close to where I was looking on the last run for open. Yeah, I could make a push. I'd be looking for, yeah, right here at about 1051. It might stretch a little bit further, but I think that's a good spot to take profit. All right, downside. Where does that start to get interesting? Let's take a quick look at some of this older stuff. I really am trying to get through this quicker, but open goes through these long, has been through this long period of just being way down. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I'm looking at this 743 potentially. Keep an eye on that. Nope, I take that back. Now that I can see these candles a little bit better. Then we're looking for a move probably down to 710. Check that against this recent PA. Yeah, okay. Yep, I'm good with that. PT1. NTS has picked up on that level a couple of times. I think we can share a stop loss with the upside trade plan. So the next target below that becomes 649 in my opinion. Then below that, finishing off this fair value gap right to about 596. So lots of room on both sides if this one can get moving. All right, let's get it locked in. Oops. Oh, shit, I did that backwards. That should be 710, then 649, then 596, then 809, which will be our shared stop loss. Shit. All right, let me fix this real quick. Sorry. I didn't realize that was still an older version of the script. So let me run this through one more time. Apologies for that. I had to fix that little bug that I missed when I did this most recent update. Oops. And then stop loss at 809, which gives us a shared stop loss at 809. There we go, that looks better. All right, cool. Let's get this dialed in. Let's get these levels hidden. Ugh. So, shit, already got a group of levels. Well, let's move all this to there. Cool, that'll work. Alright, that looks good. Let's copy our link. Oh shit, it's already 9:15. Oh my god. Flower. Ryan bringing back flow. Reached the buy price at 12. Good to know. I'll check that out today, man. Appreciate you letting me know. All right, so let's see. Here is our open live stream plan. Keep an eye on flow, guys. I think it was what? Flowers Foods, FLO. Ryan's called this one a couple of times. He joins on YouTube. He's nailed it both times he's called it out. So keep an eye on flow. What would your target over 12 be? Or your target off that 12 buy price be, Ryan? Ryan Brown over on YouTube. I know you guys in Discord are probably like he's just talking to himself. Not true. There is somebody on the other line. Message link. Let's get this locked in here. Boom. Okay. Drop our starting line. Drop our save our template. Tuesday live stream plan 2. Cool. And let's set our alerts. Oh gosh, let's select this vertical line. And again, given this till next Monday, 1600, close of the markets. All right, what are we looking for here on open? We're looking for a break over 861 that should bring targets at 918, 982, and 1051 with a stop loss average down at 809. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 768 that should bring us downside targets at 710, 649, and 596 with a shared stop loss average down with that upside trade plan at 809. All right, folks, we are a little less than 15 minutes out from market open. I need to go get the SPY plan put together so I can get that posted for everybody to get the day started off right. So I'm going to go work on that. I want to thank you all, as always, for joining me here this morning. Again, we will be back next Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Ryan Brown says no price target. He's just going for the gusto. So we will be back Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course on our regular schedule of every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, unless the markets are closed for some reason, or unless I go on vacation finally. So with that being said, as we always tell you here on Chart Talk Live, plan your trades and trade your plans. Go out there and get some green. Remember, what? Remember, we are looking for profits, not perfection. So make sure you're making your wins big and keeping those losses small. I will see you guys in the chats, and I'll see you back here Thursday at, Ryan says Flowers Foods 28-31. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you'll come back, Ryan. I hope everybody else will come back Thursday. I will see you then. SPY plan coming at you here shortly. Take care. Have a fantastic day.